Hey everybody, welcome. Happy Tuesday evening. Welcome to Raincross Farms Makery. I am Robin. Behind the computer, behind the camera is my husband Bill. And we are coming to you just outside of Lewiston, Idaho. And we are happy to be hosting this segment of Craft Round the Clock. And this theme week is Celebration of Life. So thank you so much for joining us. When you pop on, say hello. And I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I can see it somewhere. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for sharing us out. Where is it? It's not coming up on my phone. So we'll try it again. Anyway, welcome. Since you're watching live, we would so appreciate it if you would love our page, love our video, follow our page. We are 2 people away from being at 1,500 followers. So I want to get that tonight before I go to bed tonight. So at least 2. Let's make a big rush towards 2,000. And if you would share our video to your page, to tag your friends, or to a craft group you belong to, we would certainly appreciate it. We also have our stars activated. So that is all great. Thank you so much. Hello, Monica. Thank you for sprinkling. How are you? A couple other people popping on. Okay, so the theme, like I said, is celebration of life. And honestly, I haven't watched all of the crafters. It's only the second day, but I've noticed a lot of them are memorial type crafts, which is just wonderful. There are so many lives that are gone that need to be celebrated, but I took a little different take on it. So let's see. Thanks for following us, Monica. Welcome. I hope you enjoy what we have to offer. So I'm trading off between commenting and talking, and you know how that goes. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, you're going to have to make that picnic table and show me how it goes. Anyway, my take on celebration of life comes from an invitation that I got in the mail a couple of weeks ago. I have a nephew and his wife who are expecting their first baby. And so I got a baby shower invitation in the mail. Now they're 1,000 miles away, so I'm probably not going to be going to the shower, but I thought what a perfect thing to celebrate is new life. So that's kind of the take on my little session here. So we're going to make a couple of little baby shower gifts that I'm going to send off to them. So, and sometimes she watches, so we'll see if she pops on. Anyway, one of the things they asked for was that everybody who comes brings a book. They want to start a little library for their new little baby. It's going to be a boy. And so I went to the store and I found this little book, my Bible Stories Treasury. It's adorable. And then I have another book that I ordered. It's the favorite book I had of that I read to my kids growing up. It's, and I'll get the title wrong, it's The Little Mouse, the Red Ripe Strawberry, and the Big Bad Bear or something. Anyway, so I've got that ordered. So those are the books I'm going to give. And I thought it would be cute to put them in a tote bag. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I got this canvas tote bag in blue because it's a boy. And I thought we would chalk on it. So let me take this tag off. $2.49. Not bad. I don't remember if it was on sale. Anyway, this is the transfer. We're going to ink on it. It says, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, do you know how loved you are?" So I thought that would be awfully special for this new little grandnephew of mine. So hop on, say hello so I know you're watching. I see some eyeballs out there. I love seeing your comments. I try to catch them. Okay, so transfer. because I'm going to do ink and I'm going to do it on fabric, I'm going to use my ink mat. This is like a Cricut mat, so it's just a thin plastic, but it comes with this little protective plastic cover over it. I do too, Cheryl. Do you have it? You gotta show me if you make something. Anyway, and it's sticky, just like a Cricut mat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this in between the layers here, and it's going to do two things for us. Make sure I have it straight. It is going to keep our fabric in place because it's sticky. The fabric will stick to it. So it will stay in place. I did give it a quick iron, but if it was a little wrinkled, it would kind of lay those wrinkles flat. Oh, good, you do have it. Tell me what you have planned for it. Maybe you'll do a tote bag. Okay. And the second thing it will do besides hold the fabric in place is in case any of the ink bleeds through the top layer, it protects it from getting onto the back layer. Now that probably won't. This canvas is pretty thick, but you never know. So better safe than sorry. So I've got my ink mat in there, and I'm going to take my transfer, which is sticky on the back. And because I'm putting it on fabric, I'm not going to fuzz it. I want it to be super, super sticky for this. So I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to remove all the dog hair. So if you're out there, say hello. Okay. And I'm just going to do this in a single color. I'm going to make sure that's all pushed down. I don't want any air bubbles. I want all of the adhesive to grab onto that fabric beneath so I don't have any bleeding. And we're going to actually do some silk screening. So where you see the letters here, that is actually a fine mesh screen. We'll probably do a reverse canvas for you. That'll be nice. We're going to do another project with this too, because this is super, super easy. So I'm going to use our ink, Chalkology ink. This is Shimmer Silver. This is our permanent option for using with these transfers. When you heat set this, it's permanent. So she'll be able to toss this bag in the washer, dryer, and that ink is going to stay on there. So, and it is a shimmer, so it's got these little sparkly flecks in there. So I'm going to take a squeegee and I'm going to take some of that ink. And with ink, you want to just go in one direction. You don't want to go all over left, right, top, bottom. You just want to go one direction. My Cricut Easy Press is talking to me, saying, push my button.
Do you have something special in there? Cheryl just said, hi, Judy, welcome.
Oh.
And it popped up with a messenger.
Well,
Judy,
I don't know. Bonus for you. That's not our keyword for tonight, but bonus for you, you get one of my bot's messages. I should do that. Have a secret word. Okay, so, I missed who Judy is. Which Judy? Is it a Judy I know? Oh, Judy, welcome. You are new. Thank you so much for popping on. I hope you will consider following our page. We do lives quite often, maybe not every night, but just about. Okay, so I'm going over this again. Now I'm not pushing too hard. If I push too hard, I'm afraid I will cause the ink to bleed through. So I'm kind of lightly going over it. And again, this is our Shimmer Silver. Thought that would pop really nice against this royal blue. So scrape off any excess and put it back in my jar. I'm going to stick that in some water, put the lid on this.
I don't think we told Ken and Cheryl are both on. I don't think they were here last night hearing that the stars have paid for our computer.
Ken, Cheryl, hey Ken, I didn't see you pop on. Okay, I'm going to check my fingers, make sure I don't have any ink on them. And then I'm going to peel this off. Peel and reveal. And I see a couple, you know what? I see a couple of spots. I'm going to lay this back down. I see a couple of spots that are a little thin, maybe. So before I completely pull it up, I'm going to touch up those spots just a bit. And that right there. And I can do that if I catch it before I completely remove it. That way I know I get it right down. So this canvas has quite a deep grain. And it, there we go. Yes, the threads kind of make a deep, okay, but I caught it and I don't know, I like it. What do you think? I wish you could see it sparkle. It's a silver shimmer, so it's got a little sparkle to it. And that's almost all there is to it. That's the hard part. Next, I'm just going to iron it. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a different project that I'm going to use with the same transfer. So I'm going to set this aside. I want this to kind of dry a little bit anyway. So that is part one of baby shower gift. So I'm going to clean up this transfer. These transfers are reusable, meant to be able to be reused 10 to 12 times, guaranteed by the company. I know you can actually get more uses out of them if you take really good care of them. So let me show you how you care for them. Plain water. I start with either a paper towel or this is called a Swedish dishcloth. And I use this to just get that top layer of ink off. This step is optional, but I find that it saves wear and tear on my board eraser, which I'm going to use next. Makes those last a little longer. So I just get that top layer off. And then I'm going to switch over to my board eraser, which is like a magic eraser, but there's no chemicals in it. I'm going to spray it again. And I'm going to use this to get the rest of that ink off of the transfer. Okay. And then turn it over. You can kind of see where I pushed that excess ink through. And I'm going to get not only the ink off of this, I'm also going to get off any of the fuzz that I picked up from the canvas bag. And ordinarily, I would tell you to let this air dry, but I want to use it again. So I'm going to take just a paper towel. And while it's wet, don't try to do this when it's dry or your paper towel will leave fibers on the sticky part. I am just going to dry that off with the paper towel. And kind of let it air dry just a bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do with this, I thought, let's use the same transfer and let's do something they can hang on their wall. So, okay, tell me, we're kind of quiet, so let me give you a question. The book bag is for a favorite children's book. So tell me, what is your favorite children's book? If you had been invited to this baby shower and you had to bring a book for the new baby, tell me what book you would get and what book you would bring. Okay, so next part of the project. I went to Dollar Tree and I got some heart-shaped, star-shaped cutouts. Okay. So these were $1.25. They had a little jute string on them. They've got a little hole. And I spray painted these silver. I could have just painted them with some acrylic paint, but I know this kind of takes several coats and it was just easier and faster to zap it with the spray paint. So I spray painted these silver. I wanted them to be silver stars. And you'll notice our transfer is bigger than the stars. So we're going to do half of the saying on one star and half of it on the other star. And then what I think I'll do for the third star, I'll wait until baby Bourbonnais gets here and find out what his name is going to be, and I'll put his name on the third star. I do know what baby boy Bourbonnais' middle name is. His middle name is going to be Mark, named after an uncle that he never got to meet who passed away very unexpectedly a couple of years ago. Okay, Judy says, Little Engine That Could. That's a good one. Cheryl Brock says, Dr. Seuss books and Bible stories book. Liana says, there's a monster at the end of this book. I don't think I've read it, but I think I've heard of it. Okay, good choices. Okay, Dollar Tree wood, not the highest quality. They kind of blend together all different kinds of wood pulp or whatever they do. So you can kind of see, maybe you can't. If you look up close, you can kind of see there's some spots where the wood doesn't match, and even with spray paint, it doesn't completely seal up. So you might want to, if you use chalk paint, that wouldn't show up. But because spray paint is kind of a thin coat, it shows up. So you're going to kind of want to pick and choose which side. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'd kind of like to not use that. So that's going to be the back. So I think I'm going to use this one and this one. And I'm going to save number 3 for once he's here, find out his first name. I'm going to wax these. So I'm going to use my surface wax. Hello, Creative Designs and DIY from Blueberry Hill. Welcome. It features the lovable monster, Grover from Sesame Street. He's your favorite. Aww. Okay, so surface wax is just a paste wax. This does not have a harsh odor. That's why I like using it. You don't need very much. I'm putting this on to protect the paint because remember, our transfers are sticky. And if I'm not careful, the transfer will pull up the paint. And I don't want that. And also because it's wood, it kind of has some grooves in it. It kind of has the grain. So I kind of want to use this wax to fill in some of that grain. So my paste doesn't bleed. Now this I'm going to do with paste, not with ink, because this does not need to be permanent. It's not going to get washed. It's not going to get wet. Okay, so I'm going to let that soak in for a second. You kind of see it's picking up some of the spray paint color. That's okay. So I don't need very much wax, and I'm going to end up buffing off the bulk of it also. I just want a thin layer that will protect it against the sticky transfer. Okay, Kanhumi or Cheryl? I missed something.
Cheryl, what you talking about, Willis?
Oh, what you talking about?
Willis. That's how you know you're old.
Yeah, with the highlights magazines. Was it our dentist that had them?
Yep, dentists always had them.
Dentists always had the highlights magazine, and I think my mom got me a subscription to them. Okay, so I've got my first layer of paste on, and now I'm going to find a clean spot, and I'm going to buff off any excess, because too much wax will interfere with the paste from sticking. So I'm buffing this off. I should not feel it sticky. It should feel smooth from the wax, but it shouldn't feel sticky like the wax is thick. How much? Oh, I got plenty of time. A balmy 65. Yes, it's lovely here. Cheryl, 98. Oh my goodness. We are not there, thankfully. We have upstairs we have Bill's brother and sister-in-law visiting us from California. Okay, did everybody comment their favorite children's book? If not, let me know. Okay, so got that buffed. Okay, what's my next question for you all? This is a play on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I don't think the actual words are "Do you know how loved you are?" Do you have a favorite nursery rhyme or song like this? So again, sticky. I'm going to fuzz it this time because I'm not putting it on fabric. I'm putting it on painted wood. Before I do that, I'm going to distress the edges with distress ink. I saw somebody doing this. I thought I'd try it because I have this. This is just a little ink pad. This is Tim Holtz brand. I think I got it at Joann in a pack of 3 or 4 colors. This is Salty Ocean because we're going to do this with blue. So I want to just give the edges just a hint of this blue. So I'm just taking this ink pad and I'm just going over the edges. Hopefully the camera will pick that up. I don't want it too dark and I don't want it too wide. The camera picking that up? Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit like metal. Galvanized steel.
He said he didn't have a favorite kids book. Earl said his favorite kid song is "Jesus Loves Me."
Aww.
I've been teaching our Kingdom kids at church some of the old I don't know, camp songs. What do you want to call them?
Oh, Sunday school songs.
They're Sunday school songs.
Okay. How do you think? Does that look
Showing up?
Okay.
How are you applying that?
I just it's just like a little mini ink pad, and I'm just kind of using it like a paintbrush. I don't know.
So where'd you get the ink pad? I mean,
that's how it comes at Joann's.
Is that the same color as the ink that you're going to be
using? Close. This is called Salty Ocean. I'm going to be using a royal blue on this. So it's going to be similar. Hello, created in awe. Hey, diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. How jumped over the moon. Little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. How did I do? It's amazing how those get in your head and you don't forget them. Okay, so just putting a little edge to this. I could even go and completely do the edge so that the edges of this star are blue. I mean, the complete edges. Okay, this comes in a ton of different colors. I also got some more browns to kind of make things look antiqued. I wasn't really looking for an antiqued look for this. I just wanted a little accent in blue. And you can see I got a little bit on me. I'm not sure if it will wash off. Let me give it a try. This is just water wipes, so they're just water. And pretty much, I think a load of dishes and that would be gone.
That is how I always got my hands clean after work.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, Judy says I did good. Yes. Okay, I'm going to make sure the hole is at the top. And like I said, I'm going to fuzz this just to lessen the stickiness. So it doesn't grab onto that paint and pull it up. And let's see. So I'm going to do, okay, that's going to have to go down low to fit. So I'm going to put this up here. We're just going to kind of finagle this. I'm going to hold that up and push that down. And like I said, all of it is not going to fit in here. So right now I'm going to do Twinkle Twinkle. Then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to slide that down and do Little Star. And this time I'm going to use our Chalkology paste. This is chalk in paste form. The silver was our ink. So this is meant to be heat set. This is meant to be permanent. This is, when it's dry, it's smudge and budge proof, but it's not waterproof. So you can't put this on fabric and then put it in the washing machine. It's gonna disappear. But this will work perfect for this because it's not going to need to be washed. So I'm going to use, this is our Cadet Blue, currently out of stock, but I'm showing that it is slated to come back in stock at the end of this week. So cross your fingers because I need some more. So I'm taking our Cadet Blue, which is a royal blue, royal to navy. Okay. Now, because it's not ink, I kind of have the freedom to go in a little bit more directions with it. But again, I'm not pushing too hard because of the grain of the wood. I don't want it to bleed. Okay, and I'm going to scrape off the excess. Put that there. Check my fingers. I'm going to peel this up slowly. Okay, so I've got Twinkle, Twinkle. And I'm going to end up putting this back down, so I want this dry before I do that. I'm going to hit my dryer. Yes, I like the Cadet too. I like all of the colors. They all have their purpose. But I do really like this deep blue. I so wanted, I'm being a good designer. I so wanted to use this. You can't get this. I got this because I went to the leadership conference. This is, I don't think it even has a name. I think they were calling it Double Down Blue because our conference was in Las Vegas. But it is so pretty. It's that navy blue, but it's got gold flakes in it. It's a shimmer. I just couldn't use it and then have you not be able to access it. So I'm being good. And I just got some ink on this paper, which I don't want. Okay, I'm going to use this to kind of block this off because I don't want this to transfer onto that. And I'm going to find where Little Star, I'm going to just go to there. I'm going to find where Little Star will fit on our board. Kind of a tight fit. But it'll fit, I think. Okay, let's try that. Now I don't want to do those little lines. I do want to do that little star. So pass the jar. I could divvy it up. I could put it in little, ooh, I might do that. I might make that a prize. Little samples of my fancy. Okay, so I got that star. Scrape off the excess. And I know I got that on my fingers, so let me clean those off. And let's peel this all up. Okay, kind of a tight fit, and I'm thinking it needs something in the middle. We'll come back to that, I think. I'm gonna use part of these little designs in that middle section. But I'm gonna dry that up. I probably could have done little star on 2 lines. That might have been better. Live and learn. Learn from my mistakes if you copy this. I think I probably would have done better to separate little and star and done little star, but so far I'm gonna come back here and put something in there. And I'm going to put this back down. And this should fit well on this. I think that will fit. That's off the edge. Pick it up a bit. Okay, now I'm going to hold it up to the light so I can see. It's good. Push it down. No air bubbles. And same thing, cadet paste. It's strange hearing people walking around upstairs. Because we're usually the only ones down here. Hey, Alana, welcome. Oh, I never did finish. Bill was telling you, made mention of the stars that we had been collecting the last several months. And we had a special with Facebook where they were, if we did so many hours of lives in a month, they would double our stars. And we had been saving up to buy a new computer for our downstairs craft studio. And we ended up, we couldn't wait. We needed the new computer. So we borrowed from our own savings account and bought the computer. And just the other day, we got a notice from Facebook and a deposit in our bank account, enough to cover the computer. So thanks to all of you and watching us and donating stars, we were able to reimburse ourselves for the computer. There we go. Do you know how loved you are? So cute. I like it. Let me dry it. So yes, that is great news. So now we need to think, what are we going to save up for next? Maybe a glow forge or a fake glow forge. A non-brand name glow forge. Yes, it is. It was so exciting. You know, we got the statement, and then I thought, is this bogus? And I checked the bank account, and lo and behold, thank you, Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up real quick because I'm going to lay it down to fill in this middle part. Again, you watched me clean it before. This is paste, and you clean it the exact same way I did with the ink. Spray it with water. I'm going to get a paper towel or that was not attractive, was it? Paper towel or a Swedish dishcloth. This is going to stain this transfer because there is so much pigment in our blue paste. but that's okay. It only affects how the transfer looks. It's not going to affect how well it works. You just need to make sure you get all of that paste out of the screen. And again, I start with the paper towel to get that top layer off. And I think it saves wear and tear on my board eraser. That in the water. I'm going to switch over to board eraser. Spray again. And this will take a little more of that off, but it will still stain, and that's okay. See what the board eraser does? It pulls. It pulls that paste off. And I'm going to flip it over and clean off the back. And clean off some fuzz. Okay. And then I'm going to take a paper towel, which I ordinarily would not recommend. If you are done with the transfer for the day, let it air dry. But because I want to use it again, I am drying it with a paper towel. And we are going to fuzz it again. And I think I'm going to use, I don't want to use that exact same, I think I'm going to use this bottom section of star. And I'm going to center that right about there. And I'm not even going to lay it, I'm not even going to push down over there. I'm just going to push down right here. I think that's pretty centered. And same thing, squeegee with my blue paste. And I'm just going to decorate that little open area. Okay, peel it off. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. I like it. I like it. So I'm going to lay that down. I will finish cleaning that up later. I'm going to spray it so it stays damp. And I'm going to use this. And we have just a couple of minutes, and I'll show you how we're going to switch over to our tote bag. And I'm going to heat set that for you. Now I have between this ink and the paste, I've got blue fingers. I'm really not cold. Okay. So I'll show you, hopefully we'll have time. I'll show you how I'm going to attach it. I think I'm just going to use a ribbon and attach the two together. But cute, cute. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Do you know how loved you are? Kind of simple because it's for a boy's room. Not all lacy and bows and I don't know. Let's not get into gender issues. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and we'll leave it at that. Okay, so let me get back out my tote bag, and that feels like it is pretty dry. You generally want to let it sit overnight or a couple of hours at least until your ink is dry before you heat set it. But we're kind of on a time crunch and you don't have overnight to wait with me. So I'm going to put this back on to keep it sticky, to keep it clean. Store that away. Okay. And I'm going to get, yes, I hear you. I'm going to get my heat pad and lay this out here. Okay, if you are interested in this transfer, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star transfer, you can type the word twinkle in the comments and you'll get a link to my online store that has the transfer and it's got some of the ink, it's got some of the paste. some of the supplies you might be interested in. So feel free to comment Twinkle if you're interested in looking that up, or send me a message. Okay, before I heat set it, I'm going to get some parchment paper, not wax paper, parchment paper, because it won't melt. And pardon what's going on over there. So I'm going to take some parchment paper, cover this up. Again, this is dry to the touch. You don't want to heat set wet ink. And I'm going to use my Easy Press. So it's set at 350 degrees. And I'm going to just lay it down there, and I'm going to set it for 30 seconds. I don't need to put pressure on it, just the heat. So I'm going to do it for 30 seconds. I'm going to switch it down to the bottom because this is longer than my Easy Press. You don't have to have a fancy machine like this. You can just use a regular household iron to do it. You would you don't use any water in your iron, no steam. Set it at medium high, and again, use the parchment paper. Okay, so that's 30 seconds. So I'm going to move this down here and do another 30 seconds. Same thing with parchment paper, but you'll take that iron and you will keep it moving for about 4 minutes on the front, and if you're able to do the back, 4 minutes on the back. Okay? And the reason I don't have to keep moving this, because I'll show you in just a second. You know, on your household irons that are built for steam, they have the holes where the steam comes out. And this does not have holes. If you held your steam iron, even if there's no steam, if you held it in place for 4 minutes, it's going to put some little divots where those holes are in your fabric. So you want to keep that iron moving so you don't have those little holes. Okay, if I used my heat press, would I do less time due to the pressure or the same time? I have not heard that you do it any less time, but you definitely could try it for like 15 seconds and then test it. Now to test it, this is hot because it just came off the iron. To test it, when you can touch it, if it feels tacky, then it's not completely heat set. If it's still hot, it's probably going to feel tacky anyway. But I can touch that. It does not feel tacky. So that is heat set. Just to play it safe, I am going to turn it inside out. And I'm going to heat set it again from the back. And then this bag can get put in the washer, dryer, no special setting. Just whatever the fabric requires. And I'm going to do this. You know, I don't think I need the parchment paper because I'm not on direct ink. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that process. 350, 30 seconds, or medium high heat, 4 minutes. And then it is heat set. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, we are winding down. I have just a couple of minutes. Again, if you're interested in the transfer, type, what's the word? Twinkle. Don't forget, right now, or if you might not know, right now we are having Transfer Palooza for the rest of the month of May, where you buy 2 transfers, you get a 3rd one free. So that's an awesome deal. So if you're interested in purchasing any transfers, May might be the best month for you to do that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with us, for crafting with us. Thank you to Craft Around the Clock, especially those watchers that came to us from Craft Around the Clock. We hope you will follow our page and see some of the other things that we have going on here at the Makery. And I'm going to turn this inside out, and I'm going to pose for the camera, and then we are going to let you go. Up next is Donna from On a Whim. So she will have a lovely project, I am sure. Don't forget, our theme is Celebrate Life. And so I am celebrating the life that will soon be born grand-nephew, whose middle name is Mark. So here's our project for tonight. Again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.